Hello, welcome back to Game 4 between TheViper and TaToH. Now, where are we? TaToH is leading 3-0. That means every game that we're going to see is a match game. That means this one could be the last. What civilizations were played? Viper picked Burmese in the first game against Slavs. Then we saw the second game, Viper picking Aztecs but losing to Cumans. And in the recent game, Viper picked the Vikings but lost to the Byzantines. And what do you do now? What is the best choice for Viper here? What would you go for? I'm not quite sure. Burmese, Turks and Spanish can be really aggressive for TaToH. Ethiopians and Aztecs should be really solid. And therefore, you need to think as the Viper, okay, what is my solid civilizations which can do good against any of these? And I guess I would have gone for Cumans or maybe even Lithuanians. But Viper chose differently, as we're going to see now. So in this game, Viper in yellow again, picking the Mayans, and TaToH going as the Ethiopians. Should be an interesting matchup. I think Ethiopians should be better here, but you never know what's happening in a game. So let's find out together. It looks like TaToH went for one lumber camp only. No, actually got a second lumber camp now. And he went for a stable build here. Not going for archer ranges, therefore it's scouts for him. Viper went for the archer range build, he's going for archers, which makes sense as the Mayans. Viper is not going for plumes, he's got a lot of liches on gold. The maps for players, actually Viper main gold and main stone, quite safe. The main gold probably a lot safer than the main stone. Even second gold inside forward, second stone and third gold outside. So Viper's map okay-ish. Two relics close to space, one on the right hand side, one here somewhat between the two players, and the other three in the open field, maybe closer to TaToH. This one I think really neutral. Extra gold on the right hand side, extra gold, extra stone here, and the other extra stone closer to Viper, that's here. And then there is the third gold and second stone outside for TaToH, main gold for him forward, second gold on the side where TCs come up now, and the main stone safe in the back. TaToH going with 3 TCs, and he's got those scouts against an Eagle Scout and a Crossbowman. Looks like Viper has the better numbers, and that's only scouts, not light cav. Therefore it could be tough for TaToH to get some relics in actually. He moved out of the monks, but then went back, and he might have had a chance now actually. That monk is going quite late. I hope TaToH can see everything that is to know about the map. Yeah, it looks like good scouting, but Viper of course going with the monks himself, and will try to get as many relics as possible. In the meantime, Viper TC on the main stone, and the TC coming up on the wood line in the back here. I think that's 3 TCs for Viper as well, and there's one relic coming in for TaToH. But Viper, I think, should get the rest pretty much, as TaToH is not over-investing into scouts here. He's going to try to snipe a few monks, and he might have been able, if he saw the monk earlier, that monk is going down, but the relic is staying inside, and now those scouts definitely have to run away. So this relic that is just waiting in that monk's hands to get carried back, it's going to be very soon in the safety of the monastery, and I think TaToH is not even going to try and move out here. He knows that's not enough scouts, that's not enough investment, and therefore he's just going to boom. Going with the mining camp now on the main gold as well. He's got a few farms around the extra build TCs, actually a few around the mill as well. It's something I like a lot. Of course there is players who don't really use the mills. Actually that's the initial one, so TaToH build another mill here. Not quite sure about the position then. Looks like the berries were forward for TaToH, but it doesn't really matter, because we're going to see the action in Imperial Age most likely. Maybe late Castle Age like this, where TaToH is again going for a few scorpions, and also using the 2 monks now. Crossbow of course have to run away from mangonels, or have to be microed, but at the same time when scorpions are hitting those, you don't really want to be in the crossfire. Nice snipe from Viper against the villager, but now it looks like TaToH can take down a few of those crossbowmen at least. You can see it here, Viper with the micro on point right now, and that mangonel even has to get repaired unless it wants to go down to the crossbowman. Viper has the siege workshop forward, and Ram is going to die, and I think players are thinking about Imperial Age maybe. Viper actually not too close. As for TaToH, is a little bit closer, he might be able to go up to Imperial Age first. And I'm wondering right now, what would you do in either player's position? I think even though they seem weak sometimes, short warriors should be good unless Viper is going for a lot of plumed archers. And then Siege and Shorthaul seems to be the ideal combination. We could also see Arbalest, of course, from TaToH. The problem is, against Elite Eagle Warriors, you don't really want to take that fight. So Shorthauls, maybe Arbalest, maybe Elite Skirmishers, and Siege. Possibly Onagers or even Rams. Don't know what's better here. Could even see Bombard Cannons. That's maybe also an option. Ethiopians do get full siege, and Torsion Engines would be awesome, but unlikely. Both players on the way up to Imperial Age. And for the Viper, yeah, of course, Plumed Archers are an option in general. We could see Elite Eagle Warriors, we could see Arbalest with Obsidian Arrows, we could see Siege Rams, Onagers. I'm not sure about Heavy Scorpions, not available, right? I don't think it's a good idea. And of course, Trash units. The Trash from Mayans should be quite decent. TaToH can also go for Light Cav. I think Hussars not available, not quite sure. And that castle is getting delayed. Actually, that's a small mistake by TaToH. This time he didn't want to delete his mining camp, I guess, and he's moving to lead skirmishes, but that castle needs quite some time before it's going up. Now it's built, and that's very good for TaToH because you need that castle to protect your main goal. We're going to see TaToH up to Imperial Age first, should go with the trebuchet immediately, but Viper has more value in his army this time, and Viper is also going for a trap. Is that his only castle? Yes, it's not going to be plumed archers early on. Viper actually moving to the side here, attacking that extra TC. There's not enough elite skirmishes to be able to fight this. The Arbalest, missing Bracer yet, but too many of them, that means too strong, and TaToH also is going for the upgrades, of course, on his archer units. But there we have it. There we have the first trebuchet from Viper attacking. Mayans moving forward to get rid of that trebuchet, but it's actually going down. That's a very good trade here for TaToH. The other trebuchet is getting counter-attacked. TaToH not going for too many traps here. I'm really surprised. On the side, we have Viper moving in with Mayans against the TC, so this TC is actually going down, and TaToH has no extra resources here, no third gold and second stone to take, as Viper is completely controlling this side now. And TaToH was not able to get a castle here. Instead, he's spending his stone on repairing his first castle, and that's probably the more important one. So Viper playing this really, really good. He's losing the Arbalest and elite skirmishes and a few trebuchets. That's pretty much it. What is TaToH going to do here? He seems to be in a very tough position. I think he definitely needs to go for a castle on the side and something other than elite skirmishes, even though it counters pretty much everything. The thing is, Viper 51 against only 27 military units. There's the castle coming up, but Viper is close, and it looks like a lot of villagers will die here. Once again, Viper is moving all his units here. TaToH is not going for any siege other than the trebuchets, and that's, I think, a mistake. Looks like that castle is a doubt castle, if it's going up, and by the cost of a lot of villager lives. At the same time, of course, elite skirmishes are doing decent damage against the Arbalest. I can see bombard cannon somewhere. Yeah, there's one bombard cannon behind the villagers. But it costs TaToH so much, and Viper in the meantime has a second castle up, at least a second castle, is taking extra resources all over the map, has still more military units. TaToH somehow not playing this well. I'm not quite sure, but the transitioning into Imp was very tough for TaToH here, and Viper is playing this really good. The score lead says a lot, and I think Viper should be able to take this game without too much trouble here, actually. The castle could go down to the Arbalest. I imagine that Obsidian Arrows was done. TaToH is saying, okay, no, I want to get some of that stone back, and of course this trebuchet is also in range of that non-more existent castle. Bombard cannon going down, and elite skirmishes have to run away as TaToH is just too low on military units. Viper in a very, very strong and commanding position. That's how we are used to Viper's play on Arena, really. Usually he was and is still the top Arena 1v1 player in my opinion, but TaToH really saying, okay, you can see what I can do. So TaToH is not far apart from Viper, and I think if you see more arena games between them, which is unlikely sadly, it could go either way. So TaToH definitely showing with the first 3 games that he is neck and neck to Viper here. Now we have more trebuchets attacking that castle. That means no more villagers on the main gold. TaToH gold count not too high, but is also not investing into any gold units other than bombard cannons. Maybe he even needed some cavalier or something. Against all these ranged units that would be a good idea, but TaToH doesn't have the time, he doesn't have the resources to actually get this. 107 villagers is not a lot. He's got a decent amount of military numbers now. Viper actually quite behind in this regard, and TaToH even able to take his extra stone here, or a second stone, but Viper is still without worries as he's transitioning into Elite Eagle Warriors, and TaToH doesn't have any counter to this on the field. Elite Eagles 4+4, they are going to die to Elite Skirmishes, but once Viper has a decent number, you can see it here, Elite Skirmishes, using the Elite Eagles as a meat shield and taking down all of TaToH's army. And yeah, TaToH calling the GG, he was too slow, Viper too far ahead, fully upgraded Elite Eagles, 100 HP, except for the attack upgrades obviously, but it's not really important at this point, and he is going to flood into Eagles into TaToH's economy, while this castle is actually going down to another trebuchet. So TaToH realizing, I'm not going to win this game, I need to let one slide, and Viper going for the 1-3 now, the first game that he's winning in these in that best of 7. So I'm really curious to see, as TaToH still has match games, how Viper is going to progress. We've seen the civilizations, but I will show you next game. See you there. GG.